Hot diggity dog.
Welcome back to Whatever We Want.
Hey, it's whatever we want. Whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
You can't say anything, Mom.
You're just gonna have to deal with it, sis.
With whatever we want.
Whatever we want. Playing the
right.
Newlywed game again.
Yeah, that's right. We're playing the Newlywed game again, although we're swapping the thing. I'm now asking Sam questions about myself. We're going to find out if Sam is a terrible girlfriend.
I actually think I'm going to do worse than you did with me.
No, I don't think.
You're an enigma, man.
What do you mean?
You're just like an international man of mystery. I don't know if I actually know you.
I feel like I'm pretty easily understood, to be honest with you. I'm a very simple person.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay, Sam. What would be my last meal?
Your last meal?
Mm-hmm.
Something Italian.
Definitely.
Something Italian for sure. The thing that's like glaring in my mind is like chicken parmigiana and like spaghetti or like pasta. You don't like long pastas, so probably like some penne with like your dad's homemade sauce and chicken parmesan with like cheese on top.
That is a great answer, and it is definitely like, so I mean, specifically I was thinking like fried chicken cutlets with some meatballs and pasta and sauce and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I'll give you that because I do love if you like fried chicken cutlets, you like chicken parmesan.
Yeah.
Kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be my last meal.
Okay, good.
something Italian, something cheesy and saucy.
Yes. Yeah. You like saucy pasta, right? You
I
like
love
a lot
saucy
of sauce on your
pasta.
pasta.
When I was a kid, I used to hate
it. A pool of sauce with your pasta.
Well, because the best part about Italian food, and any person who likes Italian food will say this, but the best part about Italian food is the sauce you have your plate after to mop up with bread.
Yeah.
It's like the best fucking part.
Yeah, I love that.
It's the goddamn creme de la creme.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the peak of the meal.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This is a fun one, Sam. I think you should be able to get this. What is the first movie we saw together?
The Revenant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was our first date.
It was technically our first date, yeah.
Yeah.
We went on, did we go to Ethel's then, too?
I don't think we went to Ethel's, no.
I think we went to dinner, though. Do you remember where we went?
We went to Boston Pizza after.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a cash.
I always like to say, like, our first date, like, wasn't super romantic or, like, anything notable, but that was because we were already so close.
Well, we didn't, there was no ice to break. We were already friends.
Yeah, we didn't need, like, an activity or, like, anything to really, like, you know, like, mark the date or something like that. You know, I like when I was, like, getting ready beforehand, I was, like, not nervous at all. I was like, I'm gonna do the same shit that I always do when I hang out with Cameron, except now he's my boyfriend. Like, it's not a thing. So, yeah.
And then I took you to see probably what was the most violent movie of that year.
And long.
It's a long movie.
And long.
It's a good movie, though.
It's an excellent movie. Yeah.
Revenant's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like a little too long, in my opinion. I think there's a couple of like landscape shots they probably could have cut out. But
shorten it up a little bit.
Ultimately, I think it's a great movie.
Shave a couple seconds off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Well, here's an interesting one. What's the thing that I am most likely to go viral for?
Like a video game opinion.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like something
biting and controversial.
Yeah, or just like, you know, I've noticed over time that like your threads and tweets about video games have gotten a lot more like they're getting better. They're how do I put this? They're
bullshit.
No. They're entertaining, you know? Like I remember like when Fire Emblem 3 Houses came out, like I did not play that game. I do not know what that game looks like. I do not, you know, like I played Awakening for like 2 seconds and I didn't even finish it. And that's the only interaction that I've ever had with Fire Emblem. Great. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It's just I borrowed it from a friend and I had to get it back to them.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But while you were like tweeting your opinions about the game and stuff like that, like I was genuinely like interested in them, and I feel like they have appeal to people outside of just video game culture. So if you were to go viral, it would be something like that, because you're very articulate about your video game opinions.
Oh, well, thank you.
And
I
then
appreciate that.
maybe you'll say something that like pisses people off or like rouses people up enough, in like a good way, and you'll go viral for it.
I would love to start discourse. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Appreciate
and
that.
your video game tweets do get a lot of like they're by far your most popular tweets.
I would say, yeah. It's either my video game tweets or like ridiculous shit posts are always the ones that always get most likes.
Yeah.
And like obviously I don't have a lot of followers, but if you want to follow me, our Twitters are still in the description.
Hey.
I tweet lots of dumb bullshit. Well, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, every time I tweet out an opinion, because it's mostly like multiple tweets, I always hope that like someone reads it and like they don't necessarily have to agree with it, but I just hope that like they read it and think like, oh, well, this is a well-articulated opinion, you know?
Totally.
At the very least.
Totally,
dude.
150%, dude.
What is, Sam, my favorite pizza topping?
Yikes. You were always pitching weird pizza ideas. You love making like fucked up pizzas. And it pisses me off because sometimes a girl just wants pep cheese. Pep and extra cheese.
Man, lots of cheese.
And you're like, do you want to throw like goblin heads on it? And I'm like, I just want a pizza.
No, you gotta take sliced up bull penis and lay it down like pepperonis.
Yeah. If there isn't like walrus placenta on it, Cam will not eat it.
No, of course not.
I want to say like your favorite pizza topping. Like that's the question. Your favorite pizza topping.
I have a few, so like you can't really get this question wrong.
You like mushrooms.
I do love mushrooms on pizza.
I feel like you like hot peppers, but I never let you. Cause you're always ordering pizzas with me, and I hate peppers on pizza, so you never get them. But you do like peppers and hot peppers. You like chicken on pizza, which I think is blasphemous.
I don't understand why.
That's another weird food opinion that I have. That one I don't have much of a justification for. It's
because
just,
like
it's just
chicken goes on pizza.
It's just a personal opinion, really. I'm not a huge.
Come from the girl who gets that pizza at Famoso with like dates and peanuts on it.
Okay. Do not talk to me about I forget what it's called. I think it's called like Cappelletti pizza or something like that. It's the best.
The Carvaletti.
Cappelletti, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Shut up. You like feta cheese? You like feta on pizza?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't really have it too often.
Keep in mind, I'm cutting out like the standard things. Like you like pepperoni, you like cheese, you like bacon, you like bacon strips, not bacon bits.
Definitely, yep. Far better. Do yourself a favor, get bacon strips on your pizza.
It actually is better. I will acquiesce, and if all a pizza place has is like bacon crumble, then I'll accept it. But bacon strips is so much better.
Far superior. Yeah.
Far superior. And you like things like shawarma pizza and like butter chicken pizza.
Yeah, fucked up pizzas.
So like
fusion pizzas. I love fusion pizzas.
Yeah, so like I'm having a hard time thinking of like one specific topping that you like for certain. I'll just say like mushrooms.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mushrooms. I typically put mushrooms on most of my pizzas.
Yeah,
I will totally give you that.
They're a constant. Yeah.
Another acceptable answer actually would have been pineapple. I love pineapple on pizza.
Yes. That was when I realized that we could really be something.
So we both like pineapple on pizza.
Your correct opinion on pineapple on pizza.
You know what kills me about like, and we'll ask another question in a minute here, but you know what really kills me about pineapple on pizza and the controversy surrounding pineapple on pizza is that if you don't like pineapple on pizza, that's fine. You don't have to be like the world's biggest douchebag about it.
I don't like peppers on pizza, but you don't see me being like, you don't understand. If you went to Italy and asked for peppers on pizza, they would like disown you. They would kick you out of the country. They would blaspheme.
Fucking flay you alive.
They would flay you alive. No, I just don't get peppers on pizza.
It's not that hard.
Just relax.
Like, it's okay if you don't like pineapple on pizza,
yeah,
but you don't need to turn it. Like, I didn't call you the N-word.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like the world's biggest asshole about it. Because it's such a black or white reaction, right? Like, one half is like, yeah, I like pineapples on pizza. Let's get that. Another half are like, if you put pineapples on my pizza, I will fucking kill you. And that's how it feels.
Yeah, I saw this really extra video on YouTube of a guy who worked at a pizzeria in Italy.
Yeah.
And he put pineapple on people's pizzas without telling them. and like a couple of people actually like chased him out of their like apartment complexes, or like started like pushing him and shoving him around and stuff like that. And like for starters, excuse me, sorry, I don't 100% believe it was real. Like it could be staged. Also, like, relax.
Yeah.
I'm not relax.
Yeah.
You know, like I understand what I'm doing. I'm telling Italians to relax, but like relax. All of Italy.
It's okay.
It's okay. Like just send the pizza back. Like it's fine. It's fucking fine. Just don't get pineapple on your pizza if you don't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam. What is my biggest fear?
Your biggest fear.
There's a specific one for this one. I can give you a hint if you'd like.
I know you don't like swimming in water where you can't see the bottom. Like you don't like jumping off of docks.
Typically not, no.
Yeah, you like to enter. You'll go to the beach and you'll swim, and you know you have a pool in your backyard and you're a strong swimmer, but you don't like not being able to see the bottom of any body of water. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't know if that's your biggest fear.
I will say that is not my biggest fear.
Can you give me a hint?
How about this? Whenever we watch movies, and this happens, I have to look away.
Needles.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I remembered.
I have a mild phobia of needles.
Yeah.
Of anything like medical needles.
Yeah.
Anything piercing skin like that.
Yeah.
It really irks me.
Yeah. I think, have we ever watched Pulp Fiction together?
Maybe. I mean,
there's that
I've seen the movie like 10 times.
Yeah,
like,
I know we've both seen it, and we can talk about it at length, but I don't know if we've ever sat down and actually watched it together from start to finish. We did
once at the cottage a couple years ago.
Okay.
Remember it was on TV, and we just like, we're like, well, we're not doing anything else, so let's watch it.
Let's watch Pulp Fiction. Yeah, well, there's that scene where John Travolta's character is doing, like Vincent is doing heroin.
Yeah.
And you can like see that like the needle goes into the skin, you like see the blood pull out. Yeah, I won't talk about it ad nauseum because I know it grosses you out. But I remember you like turning away.
Even to this day, I saw The Invisible Man a couple of days ago with Brad and Sid, the horror group.
Yeah.
And there was a scene with needles, and I can't watch that shit, man.
Yeah.
I really don't like it.
Yeah.
And there's so many goddamn movies where they feel as though it's necessary to show the piercing of skin with a needle.
Having a phobia really does like open your mind up to just how often your phobia shows up in everyday life.
Exactly.
I can't fucking believe how often snakes show up and stuff. Like
yeah.
It's actually mildly curing me of my phobia of snakes because they keep fucking showing up everywhere.
You're getting some immersion therapy.
Yeah, and it's so annoying.
Okay, next one. This is a good one. I don't know if you'll get this one, to be honest, but it's pretty harmless.
Okay.
What is my favorite ice cream flavor?
Cookies and cream?
No.
Man, damn.
It's a combination you hate.
Peanut butter and chocolate?
That's right.
That's your favorite of all time ice cream flavors.
Whenever I get it, whenever the option's there, I get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Life comes at you fast.
You're not allowed to be offended about a question you got wrong.
Just when you think you know somebody. I guess I was, you know what? I was probably like hoping that it wasn't peanut butter and chocolate, that it wasn't something disgusting.
I still don't fully understand why you think it's disgusting. I know
it's an unpopular opinion. Another food opinion that I won't push on anybody. But I don't know. I feel like they ruin each other. I like peanut butter and I like chocolate, but when you put the two together, I don't appreciate it.
That's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Because like not to grill you or anything, but like peanut butter and chocolate is one of those flavors that like it's like they were made for each other. They have so many complementing parts.
Yeah, like it's sweet and kind of salty, but
and it's like it's got like a gooey texture, and the chocolate really like it like Reese's is my favorite chocolate as well.
I know.
So
I
yeah.
know it is. Yeah.
Actually, you know what I learned recently?
I just don't dig it.
I learned that the peanut butter in Reese's, you know how it has like, you've had a Reese's at least once in your life, right?
Yeah, it's not like peanut butter.
It's like a crumbly, sweet peanut butter.
Yeah.
Did you know that's just peanut butter and powdered sugar? That's
Oh.
all it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like...
A special peanut butter.
Yeah.
No, it's just peanut butter and powdered sugar.
Okay, well, that actually makes me feel a little bit better, because I thought they were doing something fucked up to the peanut butter over there.
Like
and
whipping
here
it up
we are
or some
just,
shit.
Like, eating it, yeah. That's good to know then.
I want to ask you a couple questions that you asked me.
Okay.
Which Disney character are they most
I
like?
knew you would ask me this one. I was literally in the shower.
Thinking about it?
he's gonna ask me this question. I better think of something so that I'm prepared. Like, I want to like preemptively think about it because he's gonna ask me that.
And?
I don't know. I don't know. And it's so weird because I keep coming back to Carl from Up because I remember you told me that reminds you of your grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
And people liken you to your grandfather very often. So, like, my first answer on Impact is Carl from Up. But you're not like grouchy.
Well, I'm not a crotchety old man.
And you don't say no to adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, no. It's very sweet because I remember that's a thing that you told me.
Right.
But if I were to sit, like, personality-wise, I wouldn't clock you as Carl from Up.
Right.
I also don't know if we're extending it to Pixar movies.
Whatever, yeah.
Disney, Pixar, whatever.
If it's got Disney on that bitch, it's fair.
I'm trying to think of like Disney movies and like characters. I don't know. You said that I was Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're a Sleeping Beauty character.
I also like I mean maybe I'm wrong, but I don't necessarily think that I would be a villain either.
No.
But I'm not trying to sway you. If you think I would be, it's up to you.
I can't, like, my main Disney villains that I always think of first are like Ursula, Jafar, and Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
You are not any of those.
Not so fast, Jafar.
You could be Genie.
That's a compliment. Thank you.
You could be Genie because you're a really good friend. You're loyal. You have a very good moral compass.
Well, thank you.
That you follow.
I have a penchant to burst out into song.
And you ain't never had a friend like Cam.
Aww.
You really haven't. So, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with Genie.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
Genie, yeah.
That's very high praise. Genie's one of my favorite Disney characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, played by one of the greats.
One of the greats.
You know,
two of the greats if you count Will Smith.
I
thought he did a great job.
I do count Will Smith. You know, I haven't seen that remake, but I've seen a lot of clips of his scenes in particular, and I have to say, it looks like Will Smith did like a lot of work to really encapsulate Genie's personality.
Yeah, without just trying to copy Robin Williams or like you know like put himself, like, I really appreciated, and I've said this before on a podcast, but like I really appreciated how he didn't try and like be in the pantheon of Robin Williams. He stands in his own league,
right?
As like people who, like someone who's played the Genie.
Actually, I saw
this charismatic character.
Exactly. I saw this
really
amazing video. Someone had taken the audio from Will Smith's Friend Like Me and Robin Williams' Friend Like Me, and they edited it to be a duet.
Oh my god!
Of the two of them. And it's like edited. It's, you know, it's not perfect, but like it's a great effort.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of really good harmonizing work. Like, you know how that they both end with that last note, like friend like me.
Yeah.
So like they sunk that up, and it was really cute. I love that song. The trumpets in that song are iconic.
Is that your favorite Disney song, or is it something from The Jungle Book, or is it something from Don't Tell Me, Don't Tell Me, Don't Tell Me? No, it's not Aristocats. You haven't seen Aristocats.
No.
I think that you would like Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love that jazz cover that they did.
Yeah.
Friend Like Me, I would say, oh, God. Now that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Like, top 3 Disney songs.
Yeah.
Definitely Friend Like Me is in top 3.
Yeah.
I love, I don't remember the name of it, but it is from The Jungle Book.
Is it,
Ooby-doo.
Yeah.
I wanna be like you.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. That's such a catchy fucking song.
Yeah.
And, Everybody Wants to Be a Cat's a good song. But I'm trying to think, like, my favorite Disney song, like, all time. I think it would be Friend Like Me, actually, now I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Because I love the horns.
Yeah.
The da-na-da-da-na. Yeah, it's, like, so catchy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But yeah.
Nostalgia, all the way.
I'll give you, I might text you later and be like, no, it's this one! But while I'm thinking about it, I'll say Genie.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah,
That's very cute.
Yeah.
I think another question you asked, or you asked me, I'll ask you, is what is your favorite thing about me?
My favorite thing about you is probably a tie between your generosity and your patience.
Oh, well, thank you.
Probably because they're two things that I could see myself needing to improve upon. And I think that you are an excellent role model for that. You are always down to share. You're not precious about the things that you own. You're okay with letting other people touch your things and have your things.
It's true. I'll lend out anything as long as I'm not using it.
Yeah, and you don't like, you know, you don't put your shit up on a pedestal, you know? Like I like hold on to everything. I'm like, but I have this thing. I have it. It's
right.
got it. It's always like been
It's
sitting
mine.
on my shelf. I'm attached to it. It's mine.
Yes.
It's mine. You are not like that.
Mm-hmm.
You, if somebody like, if somebody needs, like, okay, yeah, I'll say this, like, you're very generous with like your weed. I know that, like, you know, if anybody ever wants to, like, you know, like take a hit off a joint at a party, or like needs something, like any of your weed smoking friends, like, you're willing to share. You're a very good sharer.
Should I have it?
If you have it, you will give it, you know? That's very good. And I say that not because, like, well, we're weed heads, but like marijuana is expensive. And I personally would not want to share something that I spend so much money on. But you don't think about that when it comes to sharing with people.
Well, you know,
if somebody is talking about a book, to sort of like turn the attention away from like a different subject matter, but like if somebody is talking about a book that you have and they haven't read it, you'll say, oh, I'll bring it to you. And if you can remember, you will literally bring them that book and loan it to them. And like, people out there who like own lots of books or are avid readers know that loaning out a book, you are not loaning that book. You are giving that, you are gifting that book to somebody.
You are running the risk of never seeing that book again.
You're running a pretty high risk of never, ever, ever getting that book back. But you are unfazed by that. You know that. We've definitely talked about that before, how people don't bring books back, but it doesn't stop you. You always share. And I really I look up to you because that's a trait that I don't have, and it's something that I appreciate about you. You're also very patient. You have to be to date me. And
give yourself a break.
No, literally, like, I have seen it time and time and time again. Where like I'll say, if I have like an anxiety attack at a party, you know, and it's happened more than once, like really, really bad ones, you never, ever. I've never gotten the vibe once that you were ever like tired of me. You know, I've definitely sensed that you're like frustrated, but only because you don't want me to feel that way anymore. I've never felt like you're like impatient with me ever. And I don't know how you do it. And I respect it a lot because that's not an easy thing to do, is to be patient with people. In today's fast-paced world, we don't have a lot of time to be patient with each other. But you never falter in that. That's what I really like about you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really nice of you to say.
I'm glad you think so. I'm glad I could give you a good answer.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny you mention that because, like, I don't know, like, it's funny you mention that I'm patient.
Oh, and
like,
food. You always share food.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You've never been one of those boyfriends who were like, oh, I thought you didn't want fries!
Yeah.
Why are you eating my fries?
Listen, man.
Like, you don't care.
Okay, so you brought up two interesting examples just now when it comes to sharing, when it comes to food and weed, I'll say. Because, like, we could talk about weed openly. It's fucking legal. We live in Canada.
We're also of age. Both of us are over 21.
So anyway.
19, sorry. And 21, but whatever.
Smoking weed by yourself is one thing. Like, you know, me, like any other pot smoker, enjoy smoking pot at the end of the night and then eating some chips and playing video games or whatever, right? Like, but much like food culture, weed culture really is about togetherness and sharing. And because if you smoke weed and like how you feel, ideally you want everyone to feel that way. So it's like, of course I'm going to share this with everyone because it's this awesome thing that we can all do. And then meals just taste better if you eat it with other people, you know?
Not everybody feels that way, though. Like, you are not, you know, like, I don't want to say you're not the majority because I'd like to think on the whole people are nice, but like, not everybody feels that way. Not everybody is so great about sharing food. Not everybody, for their birthday, has all of their friends over and does literally all of the cooking. For Cam's birthday last year, he invited over like 15 friends for a huge party, and he like just fed everybody. Like that's what you wanted to do. Like you
was a good day.
understand that's rare, right? You understand that like not everybody is like that, especially on their birthday. They don't want to be the ones to cook and clean and do all the hosting and do all that work. Like, but you get happiness from making other people happy, and especially the people that you love. And that's a really, really, that's a trait that I really love about you.
All I ever want to do is make people happy.
So do I. That's why we go so well together.
Even like it extends into every part of my life, like
it extends into this channel.
Well, yeah,
This channel makes our friends happy to like hear and talk to us about like the stuff that we joke about.
And hopefully some random people on the internet. If you don't know us personally, I hope you enjoy this content.
Yes.
Because we love making it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it's made you laugh.
Yeah. Well, it comes. I don't cook a lot. Well, I do cook a lot, but I don't cook as often as I'd like. So when I get the chance to make like a big ass meal and do all this stuff, like I'm really excited to jump at that. And I think sharing food is quite intimate. Not in like the intimate way.
It's not sexy.
It's not sexy. Oh, it can be actually, but that's a whole other thing. But
talking about aphrodisiacs this week.
Yeah. What's Cameron's favorite aphrodisiac? Is it lemons? But the thing is like when I cook for people and when I feed people, like it's almost like a gesture of me being like, I want you to eat this and enjoy it. Yeah. And I want you to feel good and full. Yeah. And I want you to feel like you could be comfortable. Like it's all these things, and I love sharing that with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that about you.
And I love you too. Well, here, let's do we can do. A couple more questions. How about I'll ask you the last two questions you asked me.
Okay.
And I just have to find them here. So the first one was, what's their favorite movie / band / TV show? And because I'm not as well versed in these things, I'll add video games as well. If I'm trying to be cool.
This one, you shouldn't ask this one because you more than anybody else are 100% real about yourself at all times, and you never feel pressure to be anything but yourself.
That's very nice of you to say.
But if
I don't feel that way all the time.
I know, no one does. But I don't know. I just find that your opinions rarely varied based on your environment. Mine definitely do, but yours rarely do. If you're trying to be cool, if you're trying to be cool, you might just like go with whatever's like popular at the time. I'm thinking about like Oscar season just passed, so you might say you'll talk about how much you love like The Irishman, and I know you did. I know like you're not bullshitting. You really, really enjoyed The Irishman.
I enjoyed that far more than I thought I would.
Yeah. But if you're trying to be cool, you might elaborate on that more than what you normally do.
Right.
In order to appeal like cool to somebody.
In order to appeal to like to the film bros,
Yeah, exactly.
Show that I can run with the big boys.
Or like, maybe you don't talk about like how the movie made you feel. You'll talk about specific techniques and shots that stood out to you, and maybe make up like a little bit of bullshit about it in order to appear cool. But you're by no means like lying outright.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think like anyone.
I'm not saying that to be like you're a fucking liar sometimes.
Well, no,
like
of course
we
not.
all embellish. We all, like.
There's also different crowds, right?
Plump up things that we didn't really put that much thought into in order to appear smarter.
Oh, absolutely. Like when you and I talk about movies, I'll put it this way, right? When you and I talk about movies or anything that requires critical reflection, the things I mention to you that I notice about something is going to be different from the things that I mentioned to my mother, which is going to be different from the things that I mentioned to my friends who are all film guys, you know, like. When I talk to Steve, who's my film director friend, like I might mention something more about the filmmaking, and like I noticed these things and it gave off this effect. Whereas like with you, I might talk about the emotional stakes of things, because like that is also something that affects me. With my mother, I'll be like, yeah, it was good. And I'll tell her like a handful of scenes that I thought were really good. Yeah. Because it's all different strokes and different folks.
Exactly. And that's what I'm getting at mostly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the second question, and I suppose our final question, unless I can find something else here, is going to be, what is my favorite movie / band / TV / video game, if I'm being honest?
I'll stick with movies because we talked about movies.
Sure.
Specifically, if you're being honest, this was a hard one to stick with because movies aren't your number one thing. Video games.
You can pick something else if you want.
I guess, yeah. If you're being honest, I guess if you're being honest, then you wouldn't really choose to talk about movies all that much. You definitely like movies, but they're not your number one form of media that you consume. That's video games.
Actually, you know what? I'll say I have a particular answer in mind that I don't think you'll get, but I'll elaborate after you give me the answer.
Okay. Your favorite? Your favorite.
Hmm.
Because you've been honest about your favorite video game. It's Paper Mario.
Yes, for the N64, the original one.
That's your number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Close number 2 is Luigi's Mansion, of course.
Yes. So yeah, I'll just say like Paper Mario. You'll take any excuse you can to talk about Paper Mario.
That's true.
Yeah.
In video games in general, especially older games that we grew up with and stuff.
Yeah.
But my true answer, and the one that like I don't blame you for not getting because we never talk about this. I could talk about anime and manga for hours.
Oh well,
like
I guess
at length.
I guess I do know that.
This dude came into the store a couple days ago, and we just started chatting about like big 3 mangas. So like Naruto and Bleach and One Piece and
Smirked the mic stand.
And some new mangas that Shonen Jump is putting out and some animes and stuff. And we talked for like 45 fucking minutes, like straight.
Yeah.
Like there is seriously nothing I like talking about more at length than manga or anime.
And when your brother's around, like whenever you have a minute to like really sit and talk to your brother, you guys
It's all we talk
can
about.
talk about manga. Like your brother is actually like noticed before that my eyes like glaze over because and it's not because I hate manga or anime or anything like that. I just don't consume it.
We don't. Yeah.
I have literally nothing to contribute to the conversation, so I just like glaze over for 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's another thing. It's like my brother, and I love him for this. Like Duncan's a bigger weeb than I am.
Oh yeah.
Like Duncan loves anime and Japan and all these things, and it was such an amazing thing with him going on that journey because I think in high school, like we grew up on Dragon Ball Z and like Yu-Gi-Oh and Bleach and like Pokemon, like all the animes that kids grew up on.
There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
I love Bleach, man. I loved Bleach. Bleach goes off the fucking rails.
I was gonna say, I've heard it gets to a point where you're just like, all right, come on.
Yeah, the final arc of Bleach is a total fucking mess, but that's a whole nother story. But I think Duncan and his friends kind of gave him like I think a bit of a hard time when it came to anime and stuff.
His high school friends.
His high school friends, yeah.
His current friends are good friends.
Well, his current friends don't give a
support
shit.
His interests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like as he's grown and changed and like make new friends and like all this thing, like he's so open and honest about his love for anime now.
Yeah.
And I really love that about him. You know,
Yeah.
I'm glad that he can like really be honest that he's like, no, like this is something that I'm into. This is an interest of mine.
Well, yeah, and like I will say, like while I tend to sort of zone out because I don't have anything to contribute, I met Duncan back when he was like not really talking about how much he really did love anime and manga. But then like when you see him talk about it, you're like, holy shit, like this is a person who really loves this
He's
stuff.
super into
like,
it, yeah.
Like it's a hobby, it's an interest of his.
Absolutely.
And it is nice, you know. When I'm listening to it, it sounds like an adult and Charlie Brown, just like wah 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 wah. But like
that's because like you're hearing words that you've never heard before.
But
and
like the body language and like the general vibe that I get off of him is like very passionate, and it's always nice to hear someone talk about something passionately.
Well, my favorite thing about anime and manga discourse is that you can bring up a topic and everyone will have different opinions on it, especially because like something that's like, okay, here's an example, and like we're not going to get into it because I doubt you have an opinion on this, but like in Dragon Ball Z, there's a character named Piccolo. You probably know who Piccolo looks like. He's the fucking green guy.
Yeah, with the head wrap. Yeah.
Piccolo,
isn't he supposed to be like Goku's dad or something? Like
no.
There's like a joke that he's like Goku's dad.
No, it's Gohan. So like,
okay.
Gohan is Goku's son.
Okay.
Goku dies early on in Gohan's life, and Piccolo essentially raises Gohan. It's a joke that Piccolo's a better dad to Gohan than Goku is.
Okay.
Long story short, Piccolo, like here's an example of the conversation you can have with an anime fan. Like Piccolo was the main antagonist of Dragon Ball, the original series. Okay. Because there's Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
So arguably, Piccolo is one of the strongest characters in the show. Halfway through Dragon Ball Z, he actually becomes the strongest character in the show for a small stint. As time goes on, Piccolo, like all the other casts of Dragon Ball, gets cast to the side and becomes like a super weak character. And I think that's fucking bullshit.
Okay.
And that can open up discourse.
Okay.
And these are the kind of conversations you can have with weebs and fans, because like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The series is over.
Yes.
But it's a fun, passionate conversation you can have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the examples of things I love talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, Sam, we can talk about something else now.
No.
Well, I'll just shut the fuck up. Jesus.
Yes, babe. Yes, dear. Yes, love.
Final question.
Okay.
And this is a fun one.
Okay.
This kind of posed to the both of us, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is the better driver?
You.
Really?
We're both.
I think
Well.
I think you're the better driver.
Well. We both have our pros and cons. We're both good drivers for the most part.
Oh, I was going to say that as well.
I'm quite fond of both of our driving skills.
You're far more, and don't take this the wrong way, but you're far more by the book than I am.
100% yes.
Which it makes, in my opinion, makes you a better driver.
I still physically check my blind spots.
Well, I do
and
too.
I look at my side mirrors pretty regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most people don't actually look at their side mirrors, like if everything's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm always checking my side mirrors.
I check my mirrors constantly, but I don't do the thing like where you're supposed to like move your whole ass neck. You know, I just like look at it.
Yeah. Because in our relationship, like you do most of the driving.
On average, yeah.
If we're going somewhere together, we usually take your car. Because you're more willing to share it. I'm the one who will be like, I have like, my car's almost used up a quarter of a tank of the full tank that I used when I got here. I don't know, guys. I don't want to fill up twice in 1 week.
Right,
I don't really know. Whereas you'll be like, I'll drive anybody anywhere all the time, always.
I just like driving.
Yeah. Whereas I just try to be economical with my car. But yeah, maybe I am the better driver.
I think you're a far more orthodox driver.
I'll let you say it. I'll let that happen. I'll allow it. I'm the better driver.
Which isn't to say like I want to stress like neither of us are reckless drivers.
No.
I think I'm just a bit more loose with my driving.
I also I have a touch of road rage. I've done a lot better, and I've never been bad. Mm-hmm. But I have a tinge of road rage. Yeah. That can sometimes affect my decisions and lead me to make poor decisions.
No, if I could ask then, because I gotta wonder, I don't have road rage. I'm not really the kind of like I don't get angry in my everyday life. Yeah. Like it doesn't change when I'm behind the wheel. So there are times when I get cut off and I'll go like, oh, you fucking idiot! Like what are you doing? You know, like, I'll do shit like that. But then like moments later, it's like it never happened. It's just like erases. Yeah. You know. So like with road rage, is something like. And I'm legitimately asking this. Is it something where something happens and you go, oh, you fucking idiot, and then you're just like seething for a little while? Yeah. Oh, okay.
To take this back to like something that you said in my episode of the Newlywed Game where you talked about me, I care a lot about justice.
You do.
And social justice and fairness for all.
And sometimes actual justice.
Yeah. And when you, not you specifically,
the royal you,
when you wrong somebody on the road, there are very rarely repercussions for it.
It's true. Most people get away with everything.
So, and you know, like safe driving and like defensive driving techniques will tell you to just let it go.
Well, yeah.
Because it's for the safety of everybody. Because you don't know who's in the car. You don't know what that person's like. If you provoke them even more, you could create a more dangerous situation for you and any passengers that you might have in your car. And it's in your best interest. And it really is. And I do believe this.
What are you gonna do? Tailfish them? Like
it's in your best interest to let things go. However, from a justice perspective, that's not productive because then that person never learns.
That's some give 'em the pickle bullshit.
And it pisses me off that you never fucking learn. You should have to learn. You should have to face some sort of repercussion, some sort of culpability for your actions, because that is what I was taught in elementary school. I don't know what fucked up elementary school y'all went to, but when I was growing up, it was pretty black and white. You do wrong, you face consequences, and that's how the world should fucking work. And I know that life isn't fair, and I know that like, you know, things are more morally gray than they are black and white most times. But I just strive, and I feel very deep within my soul that I want to strive for the most just world that I can possibly muster before I leave it. And when you cut somebody off, or when you don't make room for people to merge over when a lane is closing, or when you high beam somebody. When you high beam somebody because they're not driving as fast as you would like them to when they're already going 20 over the speed limit, you should face some kind of repercussions for that.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's bullshit that I'm supposed to just let it slide. I just think that's crap. I think that's garbage, and you shouldn't be able to just yeet off into the sunset with absolutely no repercussions for your actions whatsoever. I think every crap driver should face some sort of consequence. And it just
you think
really
they should be executed?
Only if you high beam me. That is so aggressive and so rude. And never do that.
So you know what's funny about that? So
also, if you have those LED headlights, you should go straight to hell. Skip circles 1 to 8, ninth circle of hell
right
for you
to the ninth circle
immediately.
So I think I agree with you in everything you just said. But I think I resonate the most with is the high beaming. Because in my opinion, if you high beam someone because they're not going fast enough and you're already going like 130 in the fast lane, you know what the equivalent of that is? Imagine you're walking down a hallway and some dude came up behind you and got so close you can feel his like balls on your ass, and then he just like with both hands just shoves you. Yeah. And it's just like hurry up.
Yeah.
Like, that's the equivalent.
Yeah. So it's like, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna fall the fuck over and like hurt myself. And if I'm in a hunk of metal hurtling down a road at
running on explosions
at 130 kilometers an hour, I'm gonna fucking die. We're both gonna die.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. So don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that. That is so awful. So genuinely awful.
It's true.
And the fact that they, it is widely understood high beams are for dark country roads at night in bad weather conditions where no one else is. Like a very, very specific storm of rare occurrences has to happen in order for you to be justified in using your high beams. They are for very rare scenarios. So just get it in your fucking head to never touch your high beams ever. Ever. Because you will probably never need them. Unless you live in like backwoods of Nova Scotia, you are not going to need your high beams on a regular basis. Don't touch your high beams. Never touch your high beams. If you live in the city, you're driving on the highway, you don't need high beams.
Feel a little bit better?
Little bit. Not much, because I know that there are people out there who are still going to do it.
Right.
But I just...
Well, you can't change the world.
You can't change the world. You can, but you can't.
Not from where we are.
Not
in
right
my
now.
mother's basement, surrounded by blankets and microphones.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about people who have high beamed me in the past.
Yeah. So be sure to tune into this week's episode of the podcast where Sam carries this energy over
I just want to kill him.
and rants for 45 minutes straight.
Oh my god, don't ever do that shit.
Well, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Whatever We Want.
This was fun.
We'll be back to Whatever We Want next week.
Yeah, tune in next week, folks.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.